What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Michael Fletcher, and welcome to the recap of the hottest night of the summer, SummerSlam. It was held tonight at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, exclusively on the WWE Network and on all major pay-per-view carriers. Oh my God, is all I gotta say. I think the theme of the night, history was made at the Barclays tonight. So many title changes and so many things we need to talk about. Could there be a rant tonight? Very possible. I'm just going to leave it as it is, and we're just going to dive right in. Of course, normally we don't talk about the pre-show fight. However, because of the fact that this is major pay-per-view, we will get into the pre-show fight. That pre-show fight, we started it off from Monday Night Raw, as it was The Miz Taraj, The Miz, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel with Maryse going up against the Broken Hardys and Jason Jordan, and the winners of the bout. Sorry guys, no green beans tonight, and there ain't gonna be no fade away, and I can't do my little jingle either because the Miz Taraj wins it at 11, unofficially at 11 minutes and 20 seconds. Anthony Florio, come on in, my friend. You lead off on this. Give me your thoughts. Yeah, give me your thoughts.
Well, I'll tell you what, Meth. Well, we got to. I was hoping we could have added an old school feel to this. You know, you introducing yourself as Girl on that Michael Fletcher, and of course, bringing up the SRO signs. I mean, they went quickly, no doubt about it. But 2.25 stars is the rating I can give this. Maybe even 2.5. I think that's the highest I can go for this. A little bit of a snoozer fight, if I'm being honest. But the heels get the win back from the baby faces. I mean, it has all the makings of a match won by the heels at the pay-per-view, yet avenged by the babyface in a rematch on Raw. I guess we'll find out tomorrow night. But, you know, like I said, it was a solid, okay match, 2.25 to 2.5 stars. But it's going to get better as we go forward. So, Michael Bullock, come on in. 3-man weave. Let's go, baby.
All right, I guess I'm next here. So yeah, 2.25, 2.5 stars is my rating on the match as well. I mean, good match for what it was. I mean, nothing really overly special about it, but it was a good, a nice tone setter to basically set the tone for SummerSlam tonight. And there's really nothing more to say. I mean, no surprise. I mean, obviously, the Miz Taraj obviously got the win back after the Hardys and Jason Jordan got the win Monday night on Raw. So, nothing else to say. Twist Angel, Dee Woodson, come on in. Give us your thoughts on the 6-man tag during the kickoff show.
What was your rating?
I gave it 2.25, 2.5 stars.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think I had 2.25 stars down. You know, it was a pretty good match. It was slow in spots, and at least Maryse didn't really do anything in it. It was mainly all the guys, but yeah, it was a fairly good match, other than just being a little slow at times. So not much more I have to say about it. So Fletch, it's all yours.
All right, Dee, why don't you take a breather, because this next fight of the night was for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship of the World, as it was Neville trying to regain the belt against the champion, Akira Tozawa, the winner of the bout, and new Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Adrian Neville, regains the title. He lost it just a mere week ago on Monday Night Raw, and now the king of the Cruiserweights has ascended the throne again. New Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Michael Bullock, it is all yours.
I thought it was a really good it was a good match here. I'm gonna give it about 2.5 to maybe 2 3/4 of a star. But yeah, I mean it was a good match. But the thing is, I mean I'm upset that that Akira Tozawa has been made as a shall we say, like what's the word I'm looking for, a transitional champion. And I mean, the guy just won the title 6 days ago, and now here, 6 days later, you made him drop the belt. I'm sorry, I'm not happy with it. I was hoping he would get a nice run with it, but I'm sorry, I'm not too happy about this. I mean, the match was good, but the end result certainly wasn't what I expected. I mean, I was hoping that they would give him the win and basically not make him a transitional champion. Well, unfortunately, he is, and I'm not happy about that. So, nothing else to say. Didi Woodson, I give it to you.
Didi Whitson doesn't do cruiserweight matches, Bullock.
I'm sorry. I was just so upset about them making Akira Tozawa a transitional champion. So, Florio, it's yours. I'm sorry.
No worries, Bullock. It's all right. I'm right there with you, man. Okay. Neville regains the championship he just lost on Monday night. I don't understand what the point of the title change was, nor did it seem worth disrupting Neville's long title reign. I mean, good grief. I mean, don't get me wrong, the match was fine. It was when it comes to the pre-show matches, the first one was clearly the worst of the three matches. This one here was the second best. And I'm going to give it 2 3/4, teetering on 3 stars for this. Solid back and forth match. I still think the match on Raw was a smidgen better, if I'm going to be honest, and that's all I can say there. So Adrian Neville regains the Cruiserweight Championship, and according to and in the eyes of good old MF Michael Fletcher, all is right with the world, because his boy, the king of the Cruiserweights, is back on top of his throne. And that means Tozawa's got a rematch clause now, folks. When is he going to invoke it? Could it be tomorrow night on Raw? Or could they even save it for 205 Live on Tuesday night? You don't know. But we'll find out soon enough. So 2 3/4 teetering on 3. MF, we're finally gonna get into some SmackDown Live action. And oh boy, SmackDown Live, what a way to start off your end of things. Oh my goodness.
We actually get the next 3 fights. The final pre-show fight, and then the first 2 fights of SummerSlam, the actual event, were all SmackDown Live. And yes, I heard a lot about this one. For the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, it is the New Day putting the titles on the line against the Usos, the winners of the bout, and new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. They've done it. Now they are 4-time world champions in WWE. Does not matter if it's been WWE Tag Team Champions or just SmackDown Tag Team Champions, which they're now 2-time winners of the SmackDown Tag Team titles, 4-time overall Tag Team Champions in WWE. Didi Woodson, front and center, my love. Probably the best out of the pre-show fights I'm hearing.
Yes, definitely. I'm giving it 3.5 stars. I mean, these guys definitely, made the best pre-show fight. So I guess you could say out of the pre-show, this would be your fight of the night. But yeah, I don't even know where to start talking about the match. It was just that good. So I know the other two will cover a lot better than I will. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass it over.
I guess, Florio, that's your cue.
Yeah, that's you, Florio.
Nope. I didn't miss the cue. If I missed my cue, I'm sorry. Slow running. I got a slow running machine here. I do apologize for that. Um, 4 to 4.25 stars. Absolutely tremendous. Tag team titles delivered. Now I can see why they didn't want to put this on the main card, because this probably would not have seen the light of day that it did here. I mean, wow. I'm going to go on the record right here and right now. Greatest pre-show match ever for this. That's all I'm going to say. I want to be on the record. August 20th, 2017, 11:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm on the record for this. Best pre-show match ever. Do I have to spell it out for you? The Usos were in the previous best one with the Shield, with Rollins and Reigns, Money in the Bank 2013, Philadelphia. And then we saw Austin Aries and Neville with the match they had at WrestleMania. But this was a cut above the rest, man. I mean, this was, you want to talk about 6 spots, Shakespearean drama at its absolute finest, a white hot crowd. I mean, holy guacamole. I mean, if only this had been on the main card. Wow. But it was a fun match thanks to the crazy near falls. I honestly did not expect to see 2 title changes, let alone 1 on the kickoff show. Hell, I didn't expect any of that. As who would have guessed that the heels would sweep on the kickoff show? All 3 matches won by heels. I love it. This match woke up the live crowd by the midway point, and it looks like most of the fans, and it was a logjam for those fans trying to get inside. And they finally got in after a long delay. I mean, too bad a lot of them had to miss that great matchup. Oh, boy. So, I don't know what else there is for me to say on this except 4 to 4.25 stars. And for my money, the greatest, since they started this concept, the greatest pre-show match I ever saw. Well done, SmackDown Live. You get kudos and you get a salute from this Raw guy. Like a Bullock, how do you follow that?
I don't even know how the heck I'm going to follow that, but yeah, 4 to 4.25 stars. This was definitely a very, very fun and entertaining match that we had here, and I have to agree. I think this is probably the greatest pre-show match that we've had since the pre-show was first instituted on some of these WWE pay-per-views. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. I mean, Florio pretty much touched on everything on it. So, obviously, I think we're going to get a rematch between these two because the New Day does have a rematch clause. Maybe we might see that Tuesday night on SmackDown Live, but we'll just have to wait and see. So, 4 to 4.25 stars. Let's get to the main card.
We start SummerSlam with a fight representing SmackDown Live. John Cena goes one-on-one with the Lone Wolf Baron Corbin. Cena wins. John Cena, the winner of the bout. Anthony Florio, you lead off on the first official match of SummerSlam 2017.
Florio.
It's the system. Give it a second. Let me
All
see
right.
if we can get Florio back on. Tony?
Florio?
Oh, he might be having issues. Yep, he's definitely having issues. All right. Well, I'm going to do this. I got a chance to see the fight because I was on my lunch break. I was fortunate enough to see it. And
oh wait a minute. I think we might have Florio.
let me jump in, Bullock. Let me take this fight because this is the only fight I'm actually going to get to review for the card. I'm going to be straight up. 1 to 1.5 stars. Short fight. Did not like it. They buried Baron Corbin. in my eyes. They gave him the golden shovel and they buried him 6 feet under tonight. Anybody who thought that Baron Corbin was going to be a legitimate player in WWE and the whole 9 yards is now gone. The legitimate fact that WWE has lost faith in Baron Corbin because of either laziness, his attitude to the fans on social media, or his recent rip about some stupid stuff that he made about Dave Meltzer from WrestlingObserver.com has affected Baron Corbin's standing with WWE as we know it. And because of this, he just suffered the biggest humiliation you ever can get. Cashing in the Money in the Bank and getting pinned in literally 5 seconds is one thing. But then to dominate a fight for about 8 minutes and then get buried by John Cena in less than 2 makes this the most disparaging thing I've ever seen in my career of covering professional wrestling. Welcome back to mid-card purgatory, Baron Corbin. And anybody who wants to question me on that or wants to, lay the lumber on, be my guest. Because what we just saw is the end of Baron Corbin as any legitimate threat in WWE as of right now. Anybody who can say that, be my guest. Florio, it is yours.
1 to 1.5 stars, and Matt, you're absolutely right. I don't know how I can even follow what you just said. I mean, you basically just covered everything. I mean, holy berry job, Batman. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's what this was. This was a vintage Super Cena berry job right before our very eyes. And I told you. I mean, I know Bullock and Didi on our preview the other night had this as a disqualification, as a clean finish. I mean, it wasn't the worst match. It was a decent match with the crowd never really getting caught up in it. Some of that may have been from the crowd coming down from the awesomeness that was the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match on the kickoff show. But it was night and day compared to the fans standing on their feet and going nuts. But the opening match of NXT TakeOver Saturday night with Johnny Gargano and Andrade Cien Almas. So, good Lord, that was awful. 1 to 1.5, that's the best I can go. I could call it a dud in all honesty, because it felt like a snoozer fight. So, yeah. Usually I would mock SmackDown ring announcer Greg Hamilton when he would introduce Baron Corbin. Well, yeah, so much for that. Corbin's gone, folks. I don't think he's never going to see the light of day of the main event ever again. And I found a very funny tweet on Twitter. I mean, I gotta find a way to ease some tension here because when MF gets in his volatile cerebral viper mode, I always have to find a way to counteract that. So I don't know what else there is for me to say except I found a funny tweet. I mean, there's this funny Twitter account that MF and I follow. I mean, it's called Prime Time Today, and it's like Prime Time Wrestling, and I mean, there was this funny tweet that Corbin had, and bear with me, I'm trying to find it, because they were very busy tonight. That's all I can say on that. And yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to. Oh, here we go. Corbin livid with the hashtag SummerSlam crowd. They're just watching the match. Yeah, well, we know Baron doesn't like wrestling observers. Well, like, how do you follow that?
All right, I guess it's my turn. So yeah, 1 to 1.5 stars. I totally agree with that. And yeah, Baron Corbin is done. He is finished at being a major talent. He is officially a mid-card talent, and he's going to stay that way for the rest of his career. Stupid that he did, and now he's paying for it. And you know what? I'll even take it a step further. Baron Corbin is an absolute... That's what he is. He's a joke. Guess this guy seriously? To say they want to take this guy seriously? Don't. Because he's a joke. He is a... Yeah, welcome to the Burial Club. And you ain't getting out of it anytime soon. Done. Finished. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
I'm going to take a phrase from Matt Hardy and Jeff. Basically, WWE made Baron Corbin the obsolete mule. He is...
And he just got deleted.
Yeah. He got deleted by John Cena, who is the new, I guess, enforcer for WWE punishment. Because that was just really a very short match. But unfortunately, there is one shorter that's coming up later on the card. But yeah, this is definitely about a 1-star match. I mean, just... We all thought Baron Corbin was going to come out, you know, really ticked off and just take it to Cena, and he did for a little while, but I mean, Super Cena kicked in and pretty much took care of business, so not much more I have to say about it, so I'll toss it back to you, Fletch.
Oh, and there's one other word to describe him. You want to know what it is, Florio? You want to know what it is to describe him?
I got it, boys. Baron Corbin, there's only
one word to describe you.
And we are gonna
spell it out for you.
Ready?
S-A-W-F-T. Soft. Move on, Fletch.
Okay. Well, what I will move on to is a title fight for the SmackDown Women's Championship. The champion Naomi goes up against the challenger Natalya. The winner of the bout by submission and new SmackDown Women's Champion, Natalya, the Queen of the Black Hearts, is now the Queen of SmackDown Live. And most importantly, please note, there was no Money in the Bank cash-in. Carmella did not cash in the Money in the Bank. Natalya is now officially SmackDown Women's Champion. She gets to go home with the belt tonight. Probably one of the biggest upsets on the card, because I think all of us went with Naomi to win. I do not think there was one person that predicted Natalya to win it. So we all got this one wrong.
Nope. Stop you right there, Beth. I had the Queen of the Black.
Oh, he called it. Yeah, it was Florio who called it. Florio called it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Florio called it. He called for the win. He called for the title. That's right. He called Natalya's victory. So he got it. Floyo gets the big Duke on this one. We tip the cap to him because I think we all called because I remember I called for Carmelo to win it on Money in the Bank. I think Bullock did too.
Yeah, I did as well.
Didi, I think, did you call for Carmella or did you call for? No, you said Naomi. Naomi successfully defends. So, yep. All right. So there you go. Michael Bullock, you lead off on this. We'll continue it around the horn with the three-way chat. So, Mike Bullock, Natalia, new champion. What you got?
Boy, this is something I certainly did not expect. And for that exact reason, I'm going to give it an even 3 stars as my rating for it. I mean, whoa! I don't think any of us saw this coming. I mean, it was a good match for what it was, and congratulations, Natalia. It is about time. I mean, it has been a long time coming to see her win a championship of any kind. I mean, ever since that last title run she had, she has been getting buried, and we kept wondering, will she ever gain another title? Well, that drought is really over. Congratulations, Natalia. You are now the face of the SmackDown Live Women's Division as your new Women's Champion. 3 stars is my rating. Didi Woodson. All I can say is, it's about damn time. Natalia has gold.
Yep. I said last night, yes, I went with Naomi, but I also said I would not be surprised if Natalia won. So no, I'm not surprised. I am happy for her. I'm even more happy that Carmella did not cash that belt in, but man, I think we had enough of Carmella on the pre-show to last us a lifetime, especially with Ellsworth.
And don't forget, she was on the NXT TakeOver pre-show, too.
Don't remind me. I had enough of her on that one, too. But
Just saying.
Oh, I know.
Bullock, watch it. You might end up at that woodshed tonight. Watch it, bro.
Hey, I'm just being the man who tells it like it is.
No, I'm glad that she did not cash it in tonight. I'm glad that Natalia is actually going to get to enjoy the first night being the new SmackDown champion. And I think Callie is too, although she's sleepy. So, yeah, I know. So, yeah, I'm going with the 3-star rating, and so I'm going to toss it over to Florio.
Wait a minute. Before I give you my thoughts on the bout, did Michael Bullock just refer to himself as the man who tells it like it is?
Yes, he did.
No. Bullock, yes, you do tell it like it is at times.
Well, just this one time. Just this one time.
Okay, I'll let that go. Watch what happens if you do that again. Because I'm the man who tells it like it is. Everybody knows that. I'm trying to be the next Jesse Devante Ventura, for goodness sakes. I mean, the greatest heel commentator of all time, even though Corey Graves is right up there with him. And even JBL.
Or I could have just basically said, I'm just calling it like I see it.
Okay, that I would have gone with that point. So, anyways, now that I got that little tirade out of the way, there's only one thing I have to do. Yes, 1,000 times yes. About damn time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Naomi. I really do. I love her athleticism and her beauty and all that. But damn it to hell, no one deserves it more than Natty, man. I mean, here's someone who's been placed in horrible gimmicks over the years, has had, meh fights for the most part over the last few years, And finally, by God, finally, they strap her. About damn time, WWE only took you 7 years to do it. You know, Survivor Series 2010, she wins that handicap match against Michelle McCool and Layla. And then from there, she loses it a couple months later just so we could get the ball rolling on Eve Torres, which was fine at the Royal Rumble. But, and then ever since, she didn't even have a sniff of the title until tonight. I think we can now say sayonara to the LED portion of the SmackDown Women's Championship, because I'm sure we're going to get the normal SmackDown Women's Championship back. I don't think Natalia's going to want those. It's going to want that LED style belt that Naomi had, even though it was pretty cool. But solid match here, solid 3 stars. I enjoyed it for the most part, but the fans though, the fans sat on their hands and barely reacted to the title change. Hard to blame them, since the entire build of the match focused more on Carmella and the Money in the Bank briefcase than the actual match participants, which was a damn shame. But you know, it is what it is. So nothing left for me to say on this, except this to me was a solid 3-star match. And you know, solid matchup here, no doubt about it. And yep. Any more words to my boy Tony Kornheiser from PTI? I believe I had that one. So while there's one part of me that's happy I was right, there was another part of me that was kind of hoping for Carmella to cash in Money in the Bank, so we could have that little moment there with Dee Dee Woodson and MF. I mean, I was really hoping for that. That would have really made my night. But
oh no, it's still to come. There's another something that's gonna bring it up. It's not this one. Carmella had nothing to do with it. It was the other women's title fight that had something to do with it. And we'll get into that.
Yes, we will.
Very soon.
Let's move on.
But before we do have the singles match, Big Cass versus The Big Show, and Enzo Amore suspended 15 feet high above the ring in a shark cage. Winner of the bout was Big Cass. He did win the match. And I believe, Dee Dee Woodson, you get to lead off on this one. So, Dee Dee, go ahead, my dear.
Oh, this one I didn't care a whole lot about. Although I was kind of surprised that Enzo greased himself up enough to get out of the cage, squeezing through the bars. But as far as the match itself, you know, having Big Show go out there and fight with a broken hand, I mean, that was pretty much a big joke. I'm only going to give this 1 to 1.5 stars. I really thought this was really bad. There was really just no point, and hopefully this is the end of this whole thing. So let's have these guys move on to bigger and better things. So not much more I have to say about it. So Florio, it's yours.
Dee Dee Woodson, with all due respect, I think 1 to 1.5 was being very generous. This was an absolute dud. This was monkey butt ugly. Oh my Lord in heaven.
I could do that, yeah.
Now you wonder why. Now you wonder why I was not looking forward to this match.
I could make it an absolute dud, yeah. I mean, it was bad, so.
It was horrible. It was brutal. I mean, oh. You want to talk about snoozer match? Yeah, you could have done so many things during this. You could have taken a nap. You could have gone to the men's or ladies' room during this. This is easily a bathroom break match. I mean, shark cage, yeah. We've seen this before, but this was far and away the worst. I mean, anytime we had any of the other guys who had to be in shark cages in the past, look at Jimmy Mouth of the South Heart, December the 26th of 87 in Madison Square Garden, when the Honky Tonk Man defended the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship against Macho Man Randy Savage. Christy ever tried to escape the shark cage? No, he stayed in there the whole time. How about Paul Bearer? SummerSlam at the '96 Survivor Series, same venue, Madison Square Garden, Taker and Mankind. He didn't try to get out of there. I think they mentioned Triple H was in a shark cage back in '99. I honestly don't remember that. I'm gonna have to go back into my archives for that one. And then, of course, most recently, back at the Royal Rumble when Chris Jericho was in the shark cage when Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns battled for the Universal Championship. And when Jericho was screaming at Foley, I mean, Bullock and I had so many laughs with that. But nonetheless, oh Lord, let me try to find my train of thought here. So that's why they put Enzo in the shark cage. In fairness, Enzo escaping the cage was the only thing the live crowd seemed to care about. Yeah, okay. Absolute dud. And this wasn't even this was not even the worst fight of the night. There was actually something that was even worse, even though Michael Blanca and I know that's going to be very, very pleased with what happens during this, whatever that next match was. So that's all I can say here. Absolute dud. Michael Bullock just take it. This match was a disgrace to the Raw brand and a major disservice.
Yeah, this was a big-time disgrace to the Raw brand. Who do I agree with? I am easily going to agree with Anthony Florio. This was an absolute dud. And like Florio just mentioned, and this wasn't even the worst fight of the night. There was one match that was even worse than it. And we'll definitely get to it shortly, but this match was a snoozer. It was boring. Like you said, I could have taken a nap. Heck, I could have gone to the bathroom. Heck, I could have even gotten myself something to eat while this crap fest of a match was going on. So I'm just you know what? I'm done with this. Dud. Just move on, Fletch.
Oh boy. If you felt about that fight, I really am dreading what you guys are about to say here. Randy Orton versus Rusev. Orton with an RKO. 1, 2, 3. The fight ends in about 10 seconds. And the poor victim that has to lead off on this is, I believe it's Anthony Florio. Yeah, your mic is already unmuted.
Oh, I don't envy you.
Don't envy me.
Florio, go. I can already tell you're about to unleash.
Boy. I'm doing the pose. Can you see it? I'm trying to do the pose here. I know it's not as good as MF, but I know MF's going to have a lot of fun with it in just a moment. But wow, 5 seconds. Oh. It only took 5 seconds for this. You could call it quick and painless if you want. Yeah, it is too dark on my end. Well, I'll admit it. I am a man of the who likes the dark side of things at times. But yeah, the lights out, the whole 9 yards. But oh boy, absolute dud. What was the point of that exactly? That's all I can say. What was the point of that exactly? You build this match. It had decent build, and then you had Randy Orton with a vintage RKO out of nowhere, winning the match, and that was it. But man, did he drop Rusev though? He dropped him though. He dropped him on his head with that, man. MF, you got to see this RKO, man. If you get a chance to see this RKO that Orton did on Rusev, woo, he dropped that big boy on his head, man. He sure did. Quick and painless, and I don't think the crowd would have reacted well to a long chin lock filled match. So even though this was a dud and the worst fight of the night, the only reason I'm going to say it's a good call was because if you had given these guys like 10 minutes, it probably would have been a slow, boring, plodding match. But quick and painless. Okay with me. It is, however, a dud in the worst fight of the night, though. So congrats to Randy Orton. Oh, and like I said, I'm going to wait till you see the RKO because he dropped him. He dropped Rusev with that RKO. That may have been the most savage RKO I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make it short and sweet. Absolute dud. Worst fight of the night. I got nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
There's technically more action before the bell rang than there was after the bell rang, and it's a dud. Doesn't deserve much more talk about it, so let's move on.
All right, guys. Now it's time. And I know a lot of people were expecting this so-called explosion between myself and Dee Woodson. And it had to do with this matchup. Sasha Banks goes one-on-one with Alexa Bliss. Now, I said that there is a saying that Corey Graves talks about Alexa Bliss, that if she would have won, that I was going to blare it out and call her rightfully this name. And Dee Woodson fired the missile on more than one occasion not to do it. And that even threatened to disown me if I did. Well, for the sake of sorry to disappoint the fans out there, and to the relief of Dee Woodson, I actually will not be able to do it because the winner of the bout by submission and new WWE Raw Women's Champion for the 4th time, the boss, Sasha Banks. She is the new queen of Monday Night Raw. And with that said, Michael Bullock, it is all yours, my friend.
All right, and yep, there it is right there. Dee Woodson has it right up there. Your new Raw Women's Champion for the 4th time. The boss, Sasha Banks. All right, so yeah, let me pull up what I wanted to say about it. Yeah, this thing's a little bit slow, but yeah, I mean, I I'm trying to remember how many of us actually had. I think all of us had Sasha Banks winning this one, right? I think so. So, all right, I got it up. I got it up here right now. So, but yeah, I mean, oh, here we go. Now I have it. So, basically, I'm gonna give this about 3 stars as my rating on the match. I mean, maybe even teetering on 3.25. I mean, I thought this was a good match for what it was, and yeah, basically, Sasha Banks is now a 4-time Raw Women's. So yeah, so to Sasha Banks, she is now a 4-time Raw Women's Champion, and you know Alexa Bliss is gonna cash in her rematch clause on Monday Night Raw, or maybe somewhere else down the line. So yeah, nothing else to say. I know you gotta be enjoying this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's boss time. And we've got us a boss now for the new Raw Women's Champion. And yeah, I'm very happy that I don't have to go on that major. I don't know if you want to call it a rant or butt kicking, but I'm glad I don't have to do it after all. So yeah. But I'm going to agree with the rating. It's about a 3-star match. Very good match. I mean, the girls took it to each other. Sasha did seem to be favoring her shoulder, her left shoulder. So I don't think, I don't know. Hopefully, it's not a major, medical issue like Bailey's is, but she still managed to finish the match. She still managed to take Alexa out, and now we have a 4-time women's champion, and time to start the new reign, just like we are on SmackDown with Natalia. So congratulations to the ladies. I mean, they pulled off a pretty good match. So Anthony, it's yours.
I'm right there. 2.5 to 3 stars is my rating for this. I had this one as well. I mean, I said Sasha was going to win this. And for the second time tonight, normally, like I said, normally I'm happy about being right, but I was really, really there was that small part of me that was hoping Alexa would get the win, so MF would have that moment, and then Didi and MF could have had that moment where Didi would have put MF in his place, which I would have absolutely loved. Instead of saying yes, 1,000 times yes, I would have said yes, 1,000,000,000 times yes. But no.
Well, it could still happen in the future if he does decide to say it the next time these two meet. So,
and you never know when that could happen. And
exactly.
You never know. It could happen. It could happen as early as tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. Because you never know when Alexa's going to want to invoke a rematch clause. It could be tomorrow night on Raw, or maybe it could be next month at the now Raw exclusive pay-per-view No Mercy at the Staples Center in Los Angeles next month. So on September 24th. So we'll see what happens. But or it could be a future Raw before that. We got 5 weeks to vote that sucker, so we can take as much time as we need. So it was 2.5 to 3 stars. It was a solid but average match overall that lacked a really hot crowd to put it over the top. I did like the opening stretch. It was grittier in a fun way than 90% of the women's matches in WWE. But Bliss's control got a bit tiresome down the stretch, and Banks pulled out the super babyface victory, which kind of felt a little bit flat and kind of snoozy, if I'm being a little honest. But nonetheless, though, Sasha gets the win here, and now a 4-time champion. Like I said, normally I'm happy to be right, and don't get me wrong, I'm happy to be right. But for the Shakespearean drama that we could have had with Didi and MF, I mean, that would have been all kinds of epic to see MF get put in his place. I was really hoping for that, but it is what it is. So I guess Sasha didn't want it either. So well done, young lady, 4-time champion. That's awesome. Good for you. Let's move on, MF.
Yeah, and I understand why everybody's like, well, what is it? What's the thing that gets her under her skin? I'll elaborate this. I guess back in the day, and I'll even open, and Didi can jump in if you want. Back in the day, JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, when he was the WWE champion, he used to refer to himself as a wrestling god. And Didi told me in confidence that she really was bothered by that because she is a very religious person. Her family is very religious, and she doesn't feel like a superstar or a performer should either refer to themselves as a god, because that's not true, that's not real, and basically it's more of a faith-based decision than anything else. And she is a strong believer of her faith, her religion, and there's only one true God
Exactly.
in the whole world. So,
But
like Corey,
it's not just JBL that would set me off on that either. I mean, Triple H with the King of Kings has set me off before. Bray Wyatt right now is right on that borderline of I'm wanting to go and rip his throat out because if he calls himself a god again. So yeah,
and this is what led to Alexa Bliss. Now, she never ever got the moniker of it. It's Corey Graves that kind of anointed her as a goddess. And this is where Dee and myself kind of got ourselves into this little flack. And that's all it's all about. It's harmless fun. At least on my end, it's harmless fun. Because remember, there's been times where she drove me up the wall and tried to put the screws into me, and I was going to try to, in turn, fire a missile right back over the bow. Now, it could have happened tonight. It didn't. Therefore, I won't refer it. And it gets left on the cutting room floor. And Florio, for you to say that, oh, Fletcher could have another opportunity at this? No. To me, this was a one-shot deal. I don't take it and go any further with a long-standing rivalry. To me, this is like a storyline. Unfortunately, this storyline ends tonight, and we move on to the next story, whatever that may be. Whatever that could be, like if Carmella ever becomes the champion on SmackDown Live, where I might throw that at her, then that might be a different story. Because we all know she loves Carmella.
Not.
But, again, that's where it could happen. So, with that said, that solves that story, or that gives you now the light of day, so now all you guys know what we're talking about with that. And let's go back to the actual show itself. And we had Bray Wyatt, the person that Dee wasn't just referred to not too long ago, that she wanted to rip the throat out of, against the Demon, Finn Balor. And the winner of the bout, in about 10 minutes and 30 seconds, it was that Balor boy. Mm-hmm. He got him with the coup de grace, or the coup de cas, like Luigi PS3 would say. I like to refer it as the Cobra Kai, but who gives a damn? I believe it actually goes to Dee Woodson after all this. So Dee, give me your thoughts on this.
I think tonight was the first time I actually saw fear in the eyes of Bray Wyatt. I think he realized he actually went too far with Finn Balor, because he definitely was not prepared for the demon to arise. And I love the way Finn came out, because he basically used that one song that Bray Wyatt likes to use against Bray. Having some lady coming out or singing over the intercom, he's got the whole world in his hands. Well, it looks like it wasn't Bray who had the whole world in his hands tonight. It was the Demon Balor. And I thought this was a very, very good match. Balor really was very strong on this match, and he definitely put Bray in his place. I'm going to give it 3.25 to 3.5 stars. But yeah, this was one match, you know, for me is going to go down in history just for the fact that I got to see Bray Wyatt actually have a look of terror in his eyes. So not much more I have to say about it. So Florio, what's yours?
Yeah, that's about right. But man, there's nothing like that Demon King entrance, folks. I mean, I don't remember if I got to see that when I went to SmackDown a couple years ago. He was there. I mean, that's when they started that whole Dusty Rhodes Classic thing. It was him and Samoa Joe against the Lucha Dragons, and that was a hell of a match. I got to be honest. And all right, let me see. What did I have here for this? 3.25 stars. Yeah, that's about right, Didi Woodson. I think 3.25 is the best I can go. I think 3.5 is a little too steep, if I'm being honest. But no, it was a solid match. I mean, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the greatest, but I mean, it went exactly the way we knew it would. We knew Balor was going to get the win back. The crowd was up for Balor's demon persona and pop for the finish. They got a lot of the poorly developed feud matches out of the way during the first half of the show, but we're gonna starting with the next match. We're gonna go downhill. We're gonna go downhill in a good way, with the exception of one match. And well, the difference between the crowd, though. I mean, there was enthusiasm for NXT Takeover, and SummerSlam up to that point had been mostly flat, which was quite stunning, if I'm being honest. So, but 3.25 stars, and Finn Balor during the match, he did Michael Bullock's favorite move during that match. Did you notice it, Bullock? You did your favorite move. You know the one. Tope con Hilo. He did a Tope con Hilo.
Tope con Hilo!
Yeah, a staple of our Raw and SmackDown chats, by the way. Whenever Michael Bullock sees a Tope con Hilo, that's exactly what he does, folks. I'm not kidding you. So, and not only did he do the Tope con Hilo, he did the coup de grace, or as our friend Luigi PS3 calls it, the coup de grace, which I love it when she does that. So, not about it. So 3.25 stars. That's the best I can go. So, Michael Bullock, coup de grace. Let's get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 3.25 stars as well. I mean, I thought this was a good match for what it was. I mean, yeah, I mean, it was awesome to see the that entrance of the Demon King Finn Balor, and first time we actually saw fear in the eyes of Bray Wyatt, and all because of what Didi Woodson is showing right there. Because Bray Wyatt made a big mistake of letting out the Demon King, and boy, he really paid for it tonight. So yeah, so another good match, 3.25 stars. So let's just move on.
All right, the next thing we had, guys, was for the Raw Tag Team Championship of the World. It was Sheamus and Cesaro putting the titles on the line against two members of the original Shield, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, the winner of the bout, and new Raw Tag Team Champions, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. They win the tag team titles. Ladies and gentlemen, history was made tonight as well. Dean Ambrose has now become a Grand Slam champion in the history of WWE. At the age of 31 years old, he is the youngest to ever do this. Be not only a United States heavyweight champion, Intercontinental heavyweight champion, WWE champion, and tag team champion in his career. He is I don't remember how many Grand Slam champions we've ever had in the history of professional wrestling, But at the age of 31, he is the youngest to ever pull the feat off. So congratulations to Dean Ambrose. Congratulations to Seth Rollins on becoming new Raw Tag Team Champions. And I believe it goes to Anthony Florio. So, Florio, give me your thoughts.
That's how you put on a tag team title match, baby. No doubt about it. Wow. Let me just say it like this. Both tag team championship matches were instant classics. That's all I'm going to say on that. You got to go out of your way to see both of these tag team title bouts. You thought New Day and Usos were fun? This was, I thought, just as much fun, if not more fun. This had elements of Shakespearean drama at its absolute finest. Oh yeah, we all had this one. There was no doubt about this. We knew we were going to get this title change. 4.25 stars, and I'll even say second best fight of the night. There was one match that I thought was actually better than this. And I think you might know where I'm going with that. Wink, wink. But nonetheless, I know we're not in a election year or a political year or whatever. But if we were, I would hate to be an incumbent. My goodness, with all these title changes. I mean, it marked the 5th title change of the evening. Holy guacamole! It's the night of 1,000 title changes. And at that point, highlight of the main card, and the fans were hot for the finishing sequence and the title change. And I mean, it was an insane match. I mean, some great spots in this one, some great near falls. Definitely had the feel of Shakespearean drama, no doubt about it. Honestly, the match was better because they were both off the hook. I'll probably have to go back and watch both again just to really, wrap my head around it. Which one was better? Was it the SmackDown Tag Team Championship or was it the Raw Tag Team Championship? Good Lord, they were both incredible. Absolutely incredible. What was I going to say? Damn, my train of thought. Just give me one moment here. Okay. Very good. And at that point, the card really needed it. It had a bit more heat than the Usos New Day match. Teams, encounters, along with good near falls, to win the titles. But they did create enough Shakespearean type drama to make the live crowd and others, make the live crowd and us doubt the outcome down the stretch. Raw has a lot of top guys, and they might be getting John Cena very soon. You never know, because of that whole free agent gimmick. But having 2 top guys step back and bolster the tag division is not the worst idea. And before I give it to Bullock, I'll close it up by saying the tag team stepped up and delivered tonight. Not just on this side, not just on the red side of things, but on the blue side of things as well. So in that, both of us have to take a moment to give our respective tag team championship the kudos that they properly deserve. That's all I can say on that. And I know we have a little rivalry. I'm a Raw guy, you're a SmackDown Live guy, and the whole 9 yards. But at this moment in time, I want both of us to agree on that both of our tag teams absolutely positively tore the house down at Barclays tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I'll give you that. No doubt about it. And not only that, but I feel like the tag team division as a whole looks a lot more promising tonight than it has in the last few months.
Amen.
Because you got 2 great tag team champions on both sides of the ledger.
Absolutely.
With Monday Night Raw, you got Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. And remember, they were members of the Shield. So they know enough where the run and everything else is. Rollins is a former tag champion.
2-time now.
So, 2-time. Dean Ambrose, remember, he never was a tag champion because he was the United States champion at the time when Reigns and Rollins got the belts. And Unfortunately, there was never that free bird rule in effect, so Ambrose never had an opportunity to fight as a tag champion because he had his own individual belt. So this is why it's such a big moment tonight for Ambrose, because he just became a Grand Slam champion.
That's right. Absolutely right. So for me, this was the second best fight of the night. 4.25, teetering on 4.5. That's how damn good this was. So, but it's more 4.25 for my taste. So, well done. So, Michael Bullock, we got new tag team champions, my man.
Yep, we got new tag team champions in Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. So 4.25, teetering on 4.5. Second best fight of the night. And yeah, I do agree. The tag team division really stepped up tonight on the big stage of SummerSlam. I mean, you couldn't have done it any better than what they did here tonight. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say on this. I mean, Florio pretty much touched on it. So, Dee Dee Woodson, it's yours.
For me, this was the better of the two tag team matches. I'm giving it 4.25 to 4.5. Very good match, though. You know, very strong showing for Seth and Dean. They definitely showed that they are a cohesive unit again. Taking Cesaro and Sheamus, you know, all the way to where they pulled it off and won the titles. So not much more I have to say about it. So let's move on.
All right, guys, and we continue on SummerSlam. There's only 3 more fights here left. The next fight we had was for the United States Heavyweight Championship. AJ Styles puts the title on the line against Kevin Owens with special guest referee Shane McMahon, the winner of the bout, and still United States Heavyweight Champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles. He successfully defends the title. Michael Bullock, you lead off.
All right. Yeah. As far as this goes, yeah. I mean, when it comes to this, I'm gonna give this about. I'm gonna give this about 3 to 3.5 stars is my rating on the match. I mean, it was good for what it was. I mean, yeah. I mean, we definitely saw some involvement with where Shane McMahon got hit, and then at times, I mean, of course, with especially when he had the match won, he got right in Shane McMahon's face, and that's what allowed to capitalize and get the win here. So yeah, so 1/2 stars is my rating. So there's really nothing more to say. Dee Dee Woodson, your thoughts on this U.S. title match?
Yeah, I'm going to give it about a 3.5 to 3.75. The one thing that really kind of irked me about the whole thing is them yelling at Shane constantly about the slow counts and him after he would get hit, you know, recovering a little bit slower than normal. You know, guys, you got to think, you know, Shane isn't a young man anymore. He's, you know, he's getting up there in age, and it's going to take him a while to bounce back, just like any other person would. So, and those counts were not slow in any way, shape, or form. But congratulations to AJ for retaining, and very good match for what we had. So, Florio, it's yours.
Okay, let me see what I had. I'm gonna run down my notes here. I think I had it right around Bullock's rating. I think. Let me see. Just want to be 100% sure. I gave this 3.5, 3.75. That's my rating for the match. I'm right there with Bullock. And hello, what's this? A champion retained the title? Wow. Very good match with good use of Shane as the special referee. There was a nice tease for friction between Styles and Shane, followed by Owens taking out his frustrations on Shane as the match went on. There was not a definitive angle between the two that will lead to a match, but one can only assume that will happen on television if they truly are planning a Shane versus Owens match for a future pay-per-view. So we'll see what happens with that. So 3.5 to 3.75. Another one of my top fights of the night, no doubt about it. So I believe well, you went right. I think you already had your yeah. So I believe I give it back to MF here. So MF, I believe we move on to the WWE Championship, and let's just say, in the immortal words of one of the greatest works of literature of all time, there's no joy in Mudville tonight.
I don't even know how I could even think about this one. WWE title fight on the line. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal, the winner of the bout, and still WWE champion, the modern day Maharaja Jinder Mahal. Dee Woodson, my dear, it's all yours. Just go. Take it.
Oh boy, I'm giving it a three stars, but I am not real thrilled with the fact that Jinder still has the title, all because his little punks was there to help him win the title. It seems to me that Jinder cannot hang on to this title without having someone in his corner to interfere to keep him with it. And tonight, no different. The Singh brothers tried to interfere. One of them got up on the rings, and the minute he did that, Shinsuke lost focus on Jinder, started focusing on those two buffalo heads, and Jinder ended up being able to capitalize in the end to get the win. And quite frankly, I'm getting sick and tired of watching the title matches end like that. It was slower than what you would normally see from Shinsuke because of Jinder. Jinder just it seems like it takes him forever to be able to react to certain moves. Kept wanting to jump out of the ring. I mean, he slowed the match down quite a bit. So yeah, this is not a match I'm real super happy with, but it is what it is. So Florio, it's yours.
And just like that, SmackDown Live goes down the crapper with their world title match and opens the door for the real A show to take over with their world title match, which we're going to have a hell of a lot of fun with in just a moment. But first, we have to get what I hate to call the nasty business out of the way. Didi Woodson, I love and respect you very much, but unfortunately, I have to 100% respectfully disagree with your rating. I think it's a little too steep. I'm sorry. I'm not going to think I'm doing this because I'm a Raw guy and whatnot. No, this is the God honest truth. 1 star. This was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let me get this straight. This is the second biggest. SummerSlam is the second biggest event of the year, correct? For some odd reason. I mean, I would have thought the Royal Rumble was probably the second biggest event of the year. I always considered SummerSlam my number 4 show because I thought Survivor Series was number 3, the Rumble was 2, and of course Mania, obviously, is the big show. Nobody touches that. This to me did not feel like a SummerSlam championship match. This felt more to me like a TV quality bout. It felt more like a B show pay-per-view title match. Oh my God, I don't even know what else there is for me to say on this. This was horrible. Jinder Mahal's matches are all the same. Some babyface shine, a boring heat, same brother interference, and an abrupt finish. Not good. They're not good, they're not interesting, and they have no real Shakespearean drama whatsoever. Just colossal disappointment. It's not like Nakamura was on fire here or anything. It felt like a minimal effort house show match. This was embarrassing for all involved. It was nothing more than a minimal effort house show match masquerading as a WWE Championship match on the second biggest show of the year. There was even a dirt sheet that came out, and they were all but confident in saying that Nakamura was going to win the belt. And yet you keep the title on Jinder. Well, I guess we're going to have to put that Nakamura celebration on hold for a little bit. Probably going to be quite a while before we see it. Don't worry, Nakamura is going to get it eventually. But it's probably not going to be until April 8th, 2018 at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome at WrestleMania 34. With the way this is going. I still think he's going to win. I think the next time he'll get a shot at it is when he wins the Royal Rumble, because I think he's going to win the Royal Rumble. That's my early projection on that. But MF, I love and respect you, man. I really do. And I have a lot of respect and love for the men and women over on SmackDown Live. But this was not a SmackDown Live quality match. This was absolute monkey butt garbage. That's what this was. Colossal disappointment. Not just because Nakamura didn't win the belt and gave MF that emotional fanboy moment. No. It was boring. It was plotting, slow, snoozer fight. And it was an absolute letdown. And I am going to give it, like I said, 1 star for the effort. But good Lord. To have a WWE title match like that on your second biggest show of the year, pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, inexcusable, and borderline reprehensible. SmackDown Live, with the exception of MF, you all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Your second biggest show of the year, and you give us a WWE title match like that? Give me a break. Thanks, SmackDown Live. You gave Raw a huge opening. And not only did we take advantage of it, not only did we make ourselves at home, but we kicked the damn door down, too. And you're gonna hear about that in just a minute. All right, Michael Bullock. What do you agree with? Do you agree with Didi? Or do you agree with me?
I agree more with you, Florio. This was a 1-star match. I mean, very disappointing. I hated this match whatsoever. And quite frankly, I mean, I'm getting sick and tired of the same thing with the Singh brothers interfering in Jinder Mahal's matches. I mean, when's it gonna stop? That's all I'm gonna say. 1 star. Now let's move on to the actual main event of SummerSlam.
For the WWE Universal Championship, Brock Lesnar puts the title on the line in a fatal 4-way against Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Samoa Joe. And when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout and still the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, some way, somehow, he walks out of the Barclays tonight, still the champion of the world. Anthony Florio, you already made it very clear, abundantly clear, that this was the better of the two world title fights, and I'll give you that. How did it deliver as main event of this year's SummerSlam?
You really want to know? You really want me to go there? I want to go there, and I'm going to go there and then some. I'm putting you on notice on the world title match at the second biggest show of the year. 4.5 to a 5-star classic. This was abso-freaking-lutely awesome. From bell to bell, from the opening bell to the final bell, it was a work of art. It was breathtaking. Oh, my Lord in heaven. I mean, do I have to spell it out any further for you? I guess I have to. All right. Not a problem. I can do that. And I'm going to do that real good. Real good. Where do I start? The chaos, the insanity, the bumps. The main event lived up to expectations. And it closed a largely disappointing show on a high note. They didn't keep Lesnar and Strowman apart. However, they did show Strowman manhandle Lesnar, which will make for a hell of a video package whenever they opt to go to Lesnar versus Strowman in a singles match. That would be my dream WrestleMania main event, but I'm not sure if they're going to hold off that long. It was good to see Roman Reigns take the pinfall, as Strowman should not be beating, and Joe losing would have been more damaging. And you want to talk about a Be a Man fight? This is the third. I think this is like the third or fourth time during this show tonight that I'm going to say this. Put me on the record for this. Best Be a Man fight ever. Everything I wanted from this match. Complete chaos. 4 men trying to kill each other, and a potential setup for Brock's next opponent. I got all of that, and it looks as if we're going to get Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman, and I am all in. You can't do this all the time. But this was a hell of a spectacle, flat out fun. Brock Lesnar got he got manhandled by Strowman. Strowman put him, power slammed him through the Spanish announce table. Sorry, MF. And a double whammy. He put him through the SmackDown Live announce table. Yes, 1,000 times, yes. Double whammy for you, MF. Spanish announce table, gone. SmackDown Live announce table, see ya, bye. Awesome. So, how do I follow that? So, and it'll also go down as one of the greatest SummerSlam main events of all time. To me, it's not the greatest SummerSlam main event of all time. I still think it's Bret Hart and the British Bulldog from '92. That's just the Hart family mark in me. Because that was a 5-star classic, literally. But it definitely will rank up there. This is right now in my top 3 when it comes to greatest main events in SummerSlam history. No doubt about it. This match, Cena and Bryan from 2013, and Bret and the Bulldog from '92. So that's how you close. That's not only how you close out SummerSlam, but that's also how you put on a world title match on the second biggest show of the year. Take note, SmackDown Live. That's how you do it. Not how you boys did it. Not boring us and putting us damn near all to sleep. This is how you do it right here. SmackDown Live, MF, you take the notes. Make a note of this. As the late great Richard Dawson once famously said on the Family Feud show, make a note of that show. 4.5 to 5 stars. Far and away the fight of the night. Damn it to hell, it delivered. And the greatest Be a Man fight of all time. Michael Bullock, wouldn't you agree with that?
Oh, I agree with that. This is definitely one of the greatest Be a Man fights ever. And yes, this is definitely the fight of the night. 4.5 to 5 stars. I mean, it was just chaotic. I mean, all the announce tables were basically destroyed. I tell you what, there were times I thought Braun Strowman was going to do it, and you know what would have happened if Braun Strowman had won the title. I would have let out the biggest roar ever, but damn it, all these men definitely delivered, so nothing else to say. 4.5 to 5 stars, fight of the night. Dee Woodson, what says you?
I'm pulling the trigger. I'm going 5 stars. Man, I do not know how Lesnar got up after going through 2 tables and having a table thrown on top of him and then being carted out by the EMTs. But I did look over at Kevin when they carted him out and said he'll be back. And sure enough, Lesnar was back and took even more abuse after he was back from all 3 competitors. But then, he also dished out as much as he took from all 3 competitors. So is there anyone who can stop Brock Lesnar? My prediction would be the only way to stop Brock Lesnar and to get the title off of him is a one-on-one with Braun Strowman, no holds barred. Basically the same kind of match we had tonight, but just one-on-one. And I have a feeling that would be probably the only way you're going to stop the Beast. So, wow. I mean, I'm almost speechless because I don't know exactly how to react to this match. I mean, it was that darn good. And for tonight, yes, I would definitely say Raw won the pay-per-view, or the war on the pay-per-view. But the thing is, though, they have to follow it up with a damn good show tomorrow night. So we'll just have to see about that, because SmackDown seems to be winning the television war and Raw seems to be winning the pay-per-view war. So we'll just have to see how things go from here on out. But definitely tonight was a Raw night all in all. So let's go to overall reviews.
And I lead it off with Michael Bullock. Bullock, it's all yours, my friend. What did you think about SummerSlam 2017?
To me, I mean, I'm going to go 6.5 to 7 out of 10 is my rating for this edition of a SummerSlam. I mean, and the only reason why I'm going as high as 7 because of the main event tonight. I mean, some of the other matches delivered, but some of the other ones just really rubbed me the wrong way. So yeah, so there's really nothing more I can say on it. 6.5 to 7. Dee Whitson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go with about a 7. It had its slow marks. It had some, really slow points. But all in all, we had new titles holders come out of this, and 4 guys who just almost literally destroyed each other. Because I guarantee you all 4 of them probably went back to the hotel room with some sort of pain from that match. So, yeah, it was a good show all in all, but it did not meet up to the expectations we had on the preview. So, a little more work with certain matches and certain matches that shouldn't have even been on there, and it probably would have been a lot higher of a rating. But definitely out of all the matches tonight, you definitely have to say that main event was the match of the night, and I mean, just it was that darn good. So, not much more I have to say about it. Florio, if you're ready, take it.
6.5 to 7. Yeah, that's what I was sort of leaning on. Um, I think I'll be generous and maybe give it a 7 out of 10 because the main event was all kinds of awesome. The Raw Tag Team Title match. Let me see if I can rank this right. When it comes to my top 3 fights of the night, when it comes to the main card, fight of the night was the main event. Second best fight by a smidge, I would have to say, was the Raw Tag Team Championship, and rounding out the top 3 was the U.S. title. The SmackDown tag titles as part of the pre-show, that was hella fun as well. Both women's matches were solid efforts, and some of the other matches were just rather meh, and had no purpose on the card whatsoever. We could have gotten an even better show if you had gotten. I mean, you put way too many matches on the card. I mean, I understand you want to get everybody involved, and that's wonderful. You want to make sure everybody gets a payday. I appreciate that, but trim the fat. That's all I can say. Trim the fat. Less is more. And if you had done that, it would have been an even better show. Look what you did with NXT TakeOver. You only had 5 matches in about a 2 to 2.5 hour show. This one was just over the 4-hour mark. And in this one, you had 10 matches on the card. You had 13 altogether if you count the pre-show matches. Put 3 of them on the pre-show, which was good. But to me, Orton and Rusev, no business on the card. I'll also say Big Show and Cass, no business on the card either. You should have trimmed the fat with those two. Yep, I agree with that, D.D. Woodson. They should have had more on the pre-show. And that WWE title match, what a colossal disappointment. Not just because of the outcome, but because of the way the match went down. So, 6.5 to 7 out of 10. I'm reading one review who actually gave it 4 out of 10. You absolutely crapped all over this show. And I'm not sure everybody else feels, but we'll find out soon enough. I'm sure Derek's going to be on the majority of the crapola parade. So that's all I can say there. So 6.5 to 7 out of 10. Solid, but not overly spectacular SummerSlam yet again. Once again, NXT TakeOver proves to be the better show in Brooklyn. So that's all I can say. And when it comes to, the next pay-per-view, which is No Mercy, I think it's definitely looking like Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship. I think it's looking like Ambrose and Rollins against Sheamus and Cesaro in a return match for the tag belts. Maybe Sasha and Alexa one more time for the women's title. Maybe we'll get that Miz and Jordan IC title bout. The Hardys maybe against Miz Taraj in a 2-on-2 tag match. And I think I pretty much covered what we can see next month in the City of Angels as part of the Raw exclusive pay-per-view No Mercy, which is the next one on September 24th in 5 weeks. So, oh boy, nothing left for me to say except MF, let's put a bow on this long night.
And it's going to get even longer because of the fact that tomorrow is the night after. It's back at the Barclays. It's back on Raw. And when it's the night after Raw, after a SummerSlam,
Beach Ball Mania.
that was destroyed by Antonio Cesaro tonight. I hope there isn't a Beach Ball Mania 2. Because if there is, I hope somebody grabs the beach ball and tear it to shreds. And yes, I'm going to go Corey Graves on that too. Trying to ruin a tag team title fight, and next thing you know, this stupid beach ball is flying around. Cesaro does the smart thing, grab that son of a you-know-what and rip it to shreds. I know some people liked it. Some people were a little angry. Whatever. So, yes, it's going to be ridiculously Raw on the Tone 25 on Anthony Florio's channel tomorrow night when Raw goes off the air. He's already said he's got Monday Night Raw recap. He's also got the Tony's Take, I should say. Mikey's Mindset is on Tuesday night. Tony's Take, and watch out, guys. He's going to go ridiculously over. He's not happy with you 205 Live and Impact Wrestling. He's got some few choice words for you too. So you're gonna have to step into his office and watch out. And then of course Tuesday night on this channel here, it is Cerebral Smack Talk SmackDown Live. We got some Ring of Honor stuff, some RWA stuff, maybe. I don't know. I'll definitely work the docket until then. But for now, for all of us here, thank you so much for watching this. Leave a comment at the video. Share it with all your friends on all social media network. And of course, for Anthony Floyo, for Michael Bullock, for Didi Woodson, I'm Michael Fletcher. So long for now. Have a good night. And bye-bye!